Hello, welcome back to Nebula Tech News. Today I've returned with the Galaxy Watch 4 40mm to revisit the watch and give you guys an update on how it's performing after having owned it for almost a full year. So some quick details before we start. As I mentioned, this is the Galaxy Watch 4, 40mm size, Bluetooth only, in the gold color. This watch was released in August of 2021 and it currently retails for around $250 generally. But I have seen it on sale at places like Best Buy or even Samsung directly for $200 or less. So something that I see very frequently on my comments is people saying, how's the watch performing after having owned it for a year or so? So I wanted to do this video, which is going to be a combination like follow-up battery life test and just kind of a follow-up review of my experience using this watch almost a year later. Jumping right into our battery life test portion, I am going to be using this watch with a Samsung Galaxy S20, and I do want to note at this point that while this watch is compatible with Android devices, certain things like your blood pressure monitoring, which we'll discuss a little bit later, and ECG are not available to use on a non-Samsung device. And this Galaxy Watch is not even compatible with iPhones anymore or at all. So for this testing, I'm going to be using the Samsung device, and I downloaded the Galaxy Wearable, the Samsung Health, and the Samsung Health Monitoring companion apps in order to get the full benefit of all the features. All right, so it is 9:30 a.m. and we're starting out with a full 100% battery life. I'm going to connect the watch to my phone and then I'll keep track of how my battery life performs over the course of the test, and I'll give you guys an update, going forward of what's happening. And now is as good a time as any to go over the settings that I use on my watch. So under connections, you can see I have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi turned on. I have NFC off because I really don't use it. And then we're going to go into our notifications. We do have notifications turned on for everything. I want them to show only on the watch and muted on my phone. Just easier for me if I'm wearing my watch and don't have to look at my phone. Sounds and vibrations, we have it on vibrate. For display, I've got the brightness set to auto brightness. I do not have always on display turned on because frankly, I don't use that feature. I don't always need to know what time it is. Obviously, when you use always on display, like it says right here, it will keep your screen on all the time and it will use way more battery life. So just keep that in mind. I have on touch screen to wake because every time I move my wrist, I don't need it to turn on. And I do have my media controls turned on as well. And then last but not least for display, I do have my screen timeout for 30 seconds. I just think that one is easier for me to be able to keep track of everything. We have heart rate turned on for every 10 minutes while still. Stress is manual only. I don't often need to check my stress levels. Blood oxygen is turned on during sleep. Snore detection is turned off because I don't really use it or don't think I would really need it. It does auto detect activities such as walking, running, any kind of workouts. So those are my settings and how I use my watch. Again, how you use it may be slightly different. This is how I use it for my personal needs, the way that I prefer to have it. And this test obviously is going to be based off of that. Okay, so it's 3:45 p.m. right now and we are down to 85%. I have been working at my desk most of the day, so I haven't been moving around too much and mainly just been getting notifications. So we're down 15% from 9:30 a.m. to 3:45 p.m., which isn't bad. It's been a few hours since our last check-in. It's 9 p.m. right now and we're at 75%. I actually didn't end up even going on my walk or doing any of my workouts today because I was busy working on a few things. So it was a very low movement day for me, but I did get tons of notifications. Okay, so it's 9:56 p.m. and I'm putting the watch on bedtime mode just to silence all of the notifications while I sleep because I don't want them to wake me up. It is 6:06 a.m. and we're waking up with 55% battery life for today and I'm off to the gym. All right, 7:36 a.m. I just left the gym. I did mainly weight training with a little bit of cardio, and we're down to 46% battery life. All right, so now it's 8:44 a.m., and we've got 43% battery life left. I am going to put a screenshot up on the screen here that shows from the Samsung app that I've used 23 hours and 11 minutes of battery life so far, and on the app, it's estimating another 18 hours and 50 minutes left. I did wear the watch to sleep, so, here's the sleep tracking, but it's pretty good, honestly. It's 10:20 a.m. now, and we are down to 38% battery life after taking my dog on a quick walk. All right, so now it's 5:07 p.m. I'm down to 22%, and I am out running a couple of errands, so I am using a bit more of the health tracking because I'm walking a little bit more, but we're down to 22%. So at 6:48 p.m. I hit my step goal, and now I am at 19% battery life on the watch. It's 8:36 p.m. now. I just got the notification that the watch battery is low, and it automatically put itself into battery saving mode that I'm going to disable. Okay, so now it's 9:45 p.m. and we are at 10% battery life. I'm about to go to bed soon, so I'm pretty sure that the watch is going to die sometime while I sleep. So I'll check in tomorrow morning to see what our battery tally ends up being. Okay, so at some point in the middle of the night while I was sleeping, the watch died on me. So 0%. And I'm going to check the app to see, once I set this up to charge again, to see exactly how long I had battery life before the watch died. So after looking at our tally, it looks like we ended up getting 1 day and 16 hours of total usage, which is about 40 hours, which is what Samsung promises. So in terms of the battery life, I haven't seen too much of a change within my usage. Like I said, I've used this watch frequently within the last 10 months that I've owned it, not every single day. So some of you who use it every single day, you may have different results, obviously, because of having more charge cycles. From my experience using this over the past 10 months, I have gotten pretty standard times, like usually anywhere between 30 to 40 hours is my standard. I would say it's still one of my favorite Samsung watches. I still really like the design. I think it looks really good no matter where you wear it to or what you're wearing with it. I think it works pretty well for the most part. I do have a couple of complaints in the sense of why do I have to download 3 separate apps to kind of be companion apps just for this one watch? That doesn't super make sense to me. I'm not a huge fan of how many apps you need to download just to use it. I think it's kind of dumb. It's a Samsung phone, it's a Samsung watch. They could have streamlined the process a little bit, because you do have to download the Galaxy Wearable, the Samsung Health, and then the Samsung Health Monitoring app. Now, speaking of the Samsung Health Monitoring app, I did use ECG a handful of times with this watch because I wanted the testing to be pretty accurate and show, what a normal person might do. Another complaint is that there's still no blood pressure monitoring for the US. So if you're someone who lives in the US, even with a Samsung device, you won't have blood pressure monitoring. Samsung promised this back in August when the watch was released, or actually probably before when they announced it, and said it's coming soon, it's coming soon, it's coming soon. We still don't have it. It's been almost a year. There's still nothing on the horizon for blood pressure monitoring, which I think is an issue that Samsung has all the time. They promise things and then they never seem to fulfill those promises. But it is a really good, well-rounded watch. I mean, you get a lot of great features on it. And for me, the battery life is about what you would expect with any other smartwatch, so I'm not mad at that at all. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope I covered most of your questions. If there's anything that I missed, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.